Hello, and welcome to episode 9 of WiiDS for the 10th of February 2007. Not WiiDS, WiiDS. And no, it isn't a show about those long, thin, queer-looking plants you get in rivers. It's a show about the almighty gaming god Nintendo. I'm Ben.
I'm Manny.
I'm Tom.
I'm James.
And this is the best Nintendo podcast for news and reviews delivered straight to your hard drive. And here's James with this week's top Nintendo news stories, live and unrehearsed.
This week, Nintendo cleans up at Game Awards, Pokémon to arrive by the summer, Manhunt's controversial sequel to appear on Wii, and Guitar Hero announced for both Wii and DS. The official website for game stores held Best of the Year Awards 2006, with votes from game employees and customers dishing out 5 titles to Nintendo. The Japanese games giant was awarded Best Developer and Best Publisher, while the Wii picked up Best for Originality and Technical Achievement. The DS Lite wasn't forgotten, taking the Best Hardware award, and Zelda Twilight Princess came in at a respectable second place for People's Choice, which was handed out to Microsoft's Gears of War. The next evolution in Pokémon is scheduled for the summer. A Nintendo spokesperson has said that Pokémon Diamond and Pearl will be available in Europe in June or July after Pokémon Ranger. The games feature a refined battle system, good use of the touchscreen, online functionality, and of course, plenty of new Mon. Meanwhile, Pokémon Ranger, in which players catch Pokémon by drawing circles around them during combat, will appear on European shelves on 30th of March. Rockstar has announced that the sequel to Manhunt will appear on Wii this summer. The original was surrounded by controversy in 2004 when the game was blamed for the murder of 14-year-old Stefan Pakira, although police later denied that the game was connected to his murder. The Wii version is being developed by Rockstar Toronto and is the first mature title to come from the publishing house onto the Nintendo console. Guitar Hero was named among a series of franchises that will be coming to Nintendo consoles this year. In a conference call, Activision President Mike Griffith said, "The key difference in our strategy versus the prior cycle is that in addition to full support on Sony and Microsoft platforms, we will aggressively target the Nintendo platforms consistent with our multi-platform strategy and Nintendo's expected growth. In fiscal 2008, we will double our offerings on the DS and the Wii, including Spider-Man, Shrek, Transformers and Guitar Hero." And that's the news for the February 10th, 2000 edition of WiiDS. Back to the show. I rule, I didn't get anything wrong.
Yay! Well done.
Oh, thank Christ for that. Right, I'll sit in the corner now.
Gushing about some of the news.
Right.
I'll be right back.
Okay then. Manny's been right back. Announcements. Again, we all make it to the show. Did we last week? Can't remember.
We didn't, I wasn't there.
Yeah, for a bit.
Oh yeah, James wasn't here, but everyone else, yeah. That's all good. We should have another action-packed show for you this week. We haven't got any other announcements, so before we go on to
Can we have a bit of news discussion?
Sorry.
Okay.
The Rockstar thing, we're going to discuss that.
Oh yeah, can I ask something else first? Just before.
Okay, yeah.
Did anyone see the Games Awards on Games website, like when they were released? Because I saw them and I had a look and I was almost amazed. I looked on Best Storyline. Bully.
I'm sorry, Bully has a storyline?
Yeah, my friend has it, and he says it has the storyline is virtually non-existent.
No, there is.
Twilight Princess came second to it, though.
Yeah, but these are the sort of people that say that Halo was the king for innovation.
What? No.
Bully does have a storyline, it's very narrative driven.
But it's just not... I don't know, I think Twilight Princess
is better. Bully's a sandbox game,
no.
like GTA, isn't it?
No, Tom, listen. You were saying earlier, Twilight Princess has no storyline whatsoever.
Yeah, to Ocarina of Time, but I still think it had a better storyline than Bully.
Wait, Tom, have you played Bully? Completed it.
What?
Have you completed Bully?
What, sorry?
Have you played Bully?
No, I haven't, but my friend has.
Yeah, well, that's your friend's opinion, you know?
Yeah, you should play it and then decide.
No. Some of them are okay. I mean, I think most of the titles could have been given to Nintendo, but again, thought, well, that'd make it look like we're biased towards Nintendo, so we'll have to just stick some of these titles, you know, for the consoles. I don't
So
think.
trouble is, retailers have to keep everybody happy, just as the press does. Like, if you're on a multi-format game magazine, you have to keep everyone happy. You can't just say Nintendo the best, Sony the best, Microsoft the best. You have to keep everyone happy. Certainly with big companies like Sony and Microsoft, which is where the big money comes from.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the main reason. Otherwise, most of them awards could have gone to Nintendo. But
Yeah.
so yeah, moving on. Rockstar and the announcement about Manhunt 2 being on the Wii. What do we think of this?
Now, I'm impressed with this, but it does make me think. I mean, I remember back in about September, Reggie was saying that he was in talks with companies like Rockstar trying to bring mature franchises to the Wii, and everyone started getting really excited. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto, Grand Theft Auto. I think this is it. We're just going to get Manhunt, and I don't know about you, but I haven't played it. I don't know many people who have played it, because shortly after it came out, it was taken off the shelves because of the murder of the 14-year-old boy. Like, the guy who killed him played a lot of Manhunt and the game was blamed. So, I don't know how much a fan base is waiting for this.
I don't think it was shortly after the game came out. I think it was quite a while after the game came out. And it created, like, I don't know, it increased sales when the sales were down. But, yeah, I don't think this is the only thing we're going to get. I think this is Rockstar testing the waters. You know, they're going to see how, if there is a, like, Nintendo, like, we're saying, oh yeah, there's a fan base for this stuff. And if there is, then, if this game sells, then that'll show it does have a fan base. But because it's coming on PS2, everyone who bought the first Manhunt is just going to buy it on PS2, who's going to buy a Wii? Right.
Exactly, yeah. And yeah, like you were saying earlier, Manny, off when we went on air, you said that even if GTA did come out on the Wii, not many people would be bothered about it. You know, you'd have the odd like multi-format fan who just loved everything, and but even then, would you get it on the Wii, or would you get it on the PS3 or the Xbox, because you know it'll play just like a dream?
I think a Nintendo
like
version of
does.
Grand Theft Auto would only be there to settle, like, to please the people that have only got Nintendo consoles.
Yeah, I don't think there'd be much functionality for it or anything like that. You know, it wouldn't use the Wii's capability.
I don't know, I wouldn't mind smacking the baseball bat over pedestrians, that'd be good fun.
yeah, but don't see Rockstar as, this company that is, can't do no wrong in terms of the games that they make, because there are people, make cash cow games, like look at the GTA games and the PSP, they're not exactly new and original.
Apparently they're actually quite arrogant as a company. I probably shouldn't say this because they're going on air, but I've heard like that they're quite arrogant because they're actually part of Take-Two. They're originally just a developing house of Take-Two, but they've branched into their own. They just want to be known as their own company. Whereas like other things like Bethesda Softworks at Ubisoft, it's still part of Ubisoft. They don't go around saying, "Oh yes, we're Bethesda. We don't need anybody." But I think Rockstar. I mean, I'm going to cower now because I think I shouldn't have said that, but oh well.
What's your opinion, so?
No, listen. Tom's. I should have announced this earlier in the announcements, but I forgot. Yeah, Tom's mic for some reason is completely screwed, and it's just his sound settings are going up and down, and he's getting loads of static and everything. So, unfortunately, he's had to drop out of the call. So we don't know whether he'll be back later on. Hopefully he will, but
But yeah, like Rockstar should have if they wanted to make a game for the Wii, then they'd make it like we said, we need games that are made for the Wii, not games that are ported or anything like that, because that just shows that they're just adding these things in just to make they're getting a quick buck.
But if you exclude the ports, then you really limit how many games can come to the Wii. I mean, GameCube had a much bigger game base than say the 64 because they had so many third parties, so many ports coming over. Most of the games that were brought out by things like EA, Ubisoft, etc., came out on the GameCube as well, and that meant we had more to choose from rather than having to go to other consoles. If you brought the same thing over to the Wii, if you said we only want ones that are specifically for the Wii, third parties aren't going to bother, and we'll be back in the N64 days where if you want a third party game like Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty or whatever, you have to go to another console.
No, but I mean, Rockstar are a big company. It's not like they've made loads and loads of money. Okay, they did lose a lot of money with that whole lawsuit thing with Jack Thompson and all that. But look at Konami. They're actually bringing original IPs to the Wii with Eledees, which must have sold well because now they're making Dewey's Adventure.
You see, Jay, that's really screwed up our show, kind of, hasn't it? Because, later on we're going to have a debate about, Eledees or
To be fair, I disagree with Manny, so I'd happily take him on.
Oh, okay, then there we go. Well, that's fine. Doesn't matter.
But I mean, Tony Hawk's Activision said that Tony Hawk sold like, I don't know, they made $9 million or something from Tony Hawk's, and they're porting that now to PS2.
What, Downhill Jam?
Yeah, Downhill Jam is coming to PlayStation 2.
The thing is, it came out on DS, and don't you just control that with the D-pad?
Yeah.
I mean, shouldn't you really control it with the touchscreen? Like you move it left and right to steer your skateboard.
Yeah, but for a game like that, I think Downhill Jam would be more suited to PSP than PS2. It doesn't make sense.
See, but if history's taught us anything, Nintendo exclusives do not stay exclusive for long. I mean, we all know what happened with Capcom 5. Resident Evil 4 went to PS2, it's like coming out on PC soon, and that was ours. That was our exclusive Resident Evil game, you gits.
Same with Killer 7. Killer 7, I mean, it tanked on the PS2, I heard, because it was a mature title, but the style of it was.
I think Killer 7 was generally underrated and underappreciated. I mean, I don't remember hearing that it sold particularly well on GameCube.
No, it didn't, but the Capcom said that they were quite happy with the sales considering what kind of game it was. I mean, it's got a cartoon style and it's really mature. That kind of just blocks out half your user base. Anyway.
And of course, we're getting the sequel, No More Heroes.
It's conflicting.
So that'll be good fun.
I can't wait for that. Yeah, that does look very good.
Yeah. Well, that's just our opinion on those topics there. So, onto our debate. We might start doing this every week. We don't know, but we seem to have done it for the past few weeks. So yeah, our debate of the week is Eledees or Excite Truck. Yeah. You decide, or we decide, and then we'll put a poll up on the forum, and you can decide as well. So, Eledees or Excite Truck? Which one? I mean,
Eledees.
Yeah,
Excite Truck.
Tom. No, but why? I don't see.
Simply because it's not LEDs. Excite Truck makes more of an effort with the Wii than LEDs does.
Why?
Excuse me?
How?
Right. LEDs is based on the hideous notion of point and click. We have had this from the early days of the PC. Before there were games consoles, you had point and click. Things like Monkey Island and all that. It's point and click. It's old gaming. It's very, very old. Point and click, there are very, very few point and click adventures at the moment. Whereas, yes, Excite Truck is just another racing game, but at least it's doing something like it's using the tilt mechanism, which is like quite, it's new, it's innovative. The motion control is new, but point and click is just like the pointing the remote at the screen and clicking on things. It's just an extension of what we've had for about 20 to 30 years.
No, but this isn't just point and click. It's point, click, shake, turn, pull open, push.
Yeah, but it's point
everything.
and wiggle then. It's point and
it's
wiggle.
It's in a 3D space. You move around in a 3D space and you can move things. And you can change the physics engine is really good.
Well, in that case, it's no different to Luigi's Mansion, where you just walk around the mansion and wiggle everything that you can find. That was meant to be, it's really interactive, you can touch everything. But in the end, all it was is just rattling anything that stood out.
No, but I mean, if you've seen the videos of this game, I mean, there is a lot.
I turned them off within the first minute.
I have to say.
Yeah, but I just.
My God, Excite Truck is just racing.
Exactly.
I've heard there's like 4 environments.
Yeah, there is exactly. There's 4 environments.
All the trucks practically handle the same. It's not exactly.
Well, to be fair, I mean, like Tom picked the Excite Truck title. I mean, I just think it's better than LEDs simply because it's not LEDs. If you get me.
Okay, you have got that MP3 thing. That's a good thing for Excite Truck.
Yeah,
that doesn't impact game because the only reason they did that is because the music is terrible. I hear on Excite Truck, like the main music is just that.
Yeah, but Nintendo have been criticised for music so far because they're still clinging on to MIDIs, haven't they? I mean, like Zelda Twilight Princess, I love the soundtrack, but most of the reviews said the soundtrack, the audio quality is terrible. So.
Yeah, but it isn't. I don't see I don't have a problem with it at all. I mean, when you go into Kakariko and you get the little whistle.
See, but Kakariko's a good one. If you go on like Ordon Ranch, the it sounds like a really horrible sound.
It's a bit flat, but I would say that MIDI is not the way to go. They need to start fully orchestrating things. But Nintendo do well with MIDI, and that MIDI sound is something I love, and I don't want it to go away. I don't think
It
Ben
reminds you of
it's
a
got this
simpler
video
time.
game. It's got a video game sound to it. It sounds like a video game. Like when you play Shadow of the Colossus, it's all orchestral, and it does make it more epic and stuff. But there's something about it that doesn't fit well. It's the MIDI sound. It's the
I do have to
digital.
say I agree with
I
that.
don't know
I play
what it is.
Morrowind quite a lot, and whenever you're on a battle, it's just this same orchestral piece over and over again, and it doesn't really match the pace of the battle. So yeah, MIDI would be better there.
I think MIDI music's a lot more dynamic. There's a lot more, like, you can have a lot more instruments going on in orchestral, and, you know, it can...
So they're having
change a lot,
MIDIs
but-
in the LEDs?
MIDI's dynamic. I don't know what they're having in LEDs. But I hear that the game's like 17 hours long.
But that's not that long nowadays. I mean, think about it, like, Zelda's like 60 hours long. Morrowind or Oblivion, you can't even count how long it is. 17 hours is not that long.
But
Yeah,
Red Steel is like 10 hours long, and that's lasted me ages.
Yeah.
We have to talk about
Of
Red
course.
Steel later.
No,
'cause,
but the thing is,
yeah,
with
we've
Red
completed.
Steel, whereas Zelda you save every time you turn it off, Red Steel only counts how long you've been playing for when it saves. So, you know, you'll have played it for like, 15, 16 hours, but those hours aren't counted in because, you know, it doesn't...
Okay, I got another one. If Excite Truck is so using the Wii to its potential, why doesn't it have online? Whereas
Because
LEDs does have
Nintendo is still reluctant with online stuff.
No, wait. Nintendo's first party isn't going online, but their third
Yeah,
party.
but they've always said that. They've
about?
always said that since GameCube. They said, you know, if you want to go on to, if you want to do online, by all means do so. And we did. We had Fantasy Star Universe and all that from Sega, but they themselves are not quite comfortable with online yet. That's why we didn't have online Wii Sports, though that would be cool. You know, they're making sure they're getting comfortable with their own system before they start doing online. They want to be sure of their footing before they, step onto the online world.
Well, I hope you're right, because in March they better announce a lot more online titles, because, you know, the Wii fan base is getting huge, and if they suddenly just
the
stop
Nintendo
doing
titles
things,
that we
then
have
it's just
heard,
gonna
the
deflate.
Nintendo titles that we have heard are online, is Battalion Wars, Mario Strikers, and it's rumoured that Smash Bros are online. That's going to offer a much better online experience than LEDs.
Pokemon.
Oh, and Pokemon, of course.
Yeah,
And
but
Pokemon's just going to rule. Yeah, but that's DS. Like,
No,
No, but
no.
LEDs is a different kind of
It's just-
online.
You're just
not.
making levels and sharing it with people. It's no different to getting a PC game, using a mod like a level editor, making your own challenges and getting people to download it. Neverwinter Nights has done that for years. People have made their own quest, you upload it, and then you download the ones you fancy. But it's not exactly online against you. They've got the advantage of you're online against each other, but LEDs you don't. If you like racing through the room trying to get each other, get stuff.
Yeah, but with LEDs, I think that it's harder to ruin the online experience, the kind of online experience, because you create things, you put them up, people can play them, and they can put up their high scores or whatever. But with a game like, if you look at Mario Kart DS, it got ruined as soon as it went online. You get these people that just want to do anything. All they want to do is
See,
win.
I wouldn't agree
That's
with that.
all
I
their
wouldn't
goal
agree
is.
with that.
They
I wouldn't
cheat
agree
to
with that
win.
because
No,
I've only
no,
played
no.
Mario. I've played Mario Kart Online a reasonable amount. I've only had about 5 to 10 races, but each time I've felt that I've got a reasonable chance of winning. And I've been against a couple of gits, and let's face it, they are gits. There are always gits online, but out of the 10 races I've done, about 7 or so has been absolutely fair, and it's been a really good experience because I know I'm against people that are playing fair.
Yeah. Why is that always
Yeah, but
happening?
I've had a really bad experience on Mario Kart. No, I did listen to what you said, James. I was just thinking. But I've had really bad experiences on Mario Kart, where I've been first and then suddenly I'm fourth, and I'm like, what?
No.
Lag, and it's really laggy system, the DS.
You know, the thing is, right, if you start with an online game when it first comes out, you'll get the online experience out of it before it gets ruined.
Yeah,
Whereas
exactly. It was fun at first.
Yeah, exactly. When it was first out, it was like, oh wow, no one knew about this snaking crap, and
But I was
yeah,
playing
it was just
a
pure
year
fun.
after it came out. I picked mine up in November when it came out, and I was playing in July, and I was absolutely fine.
That's because the phase had been over. You got first 3 months people are learning, and then you got that huge 6-month section where people are just owning, and then they get bored, and then you've got a 3-month phase where people are just cooling down, and then you've just got the odd person who'll go on and play it.
I was just chuffed I
That's
didn't
what I
get
think.
pwned.
But yeah,
The same could be said for Metroid.
Metroid's just no.
Nightmare online. Especially, the thing is, like, for us, me and Ben, because we're left-handed, I think that's
nothing wrong with us lefties. I'm
one of
lefty
the
and
main
all.
factors. The controls,
Well, and you can
the
play
controls for Metroid aren't great.
No, I have to use the if I actually have stand a chance of even like hitting anyone, I have to use the dual analog sort of style where you use the D-pad and the ABXY. I can't use the touchscreen. Just
See, but the Nintendo DS is made for left-handed people, right? Because
what is it?
it's made for left-handed people because, like, a gaming convention has always dictated that movement is on the left, something to do with like the left.
I know what you mean, yeah.
So you've got all the action buttons on the right, so you can use your pen on the left. The DS is built for left-handed people. Likewise, the remote, you know, it's just you're used to controlling movement on your left hand, so that's the nunchuck. So you can swing your right hand. Is like the Wii is made for left-handed. I reckon Shigsy's left-handed.
No. But
the other argument is that, like, we want to strafe with a D-pad. We don't want to strafe with buttons, and the buttons aren't right on the DS to be strafing.
Fair enough.
If they wanted to do that, they should have had two D-pads and two D-pads like they had on Virtual Boy.
I don't see what would be wrong with two D-pads. You can still, they've got exactly the same, like, they work exactly the same as ABXY.
I used to like the C buttons on the N64 because like the C buttons work like a second D-pad, didn't they?
I don't know.
Yeah, they worked on the N64, but they don't work on the DS because of the way you're holding the console. 64, you held one hand was like low and the other hand was higher.
Maybe they should redesign the DS to model it round the N64 controller.
The N64 controller,
that nobody uses.
Can you imagine if Sony come out with a PSP2 design and then Nintendo come out with another DS design?
Oh, come on, we've still got another DS redesign coming. I mean, come on, with the Game Boy you had Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Color. Game Boy Advance you had Game Boy Advance, Game Boy SP, Game Boy Micro, so we're still due a third DS.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then
they could make one with a sensor bar in it and have like
but that'd be the next generation of DS.
No, I think we're due one more redesign
People are talking
before we get the second DS.
I've heard murmurings that they might bring Game Boy back.
Well, they always said that DS was going to be a third pillar, so and they've still got to compete with the PSP. They can still offer direct competition to the PSP.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think that that kind of went off topic as it usually does, but
yeah, Eledees, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll see on the polls. We'll see what
It's
happens.
just point and click.
No, it isn't. Oh, whatever. Right, let's just not bother. So,
we should agree to disagree.
Main discussion this week. Yeah, main discussion this week. Again, like we said, we're going to carry on our poor old DS getting left out discussion. And we're going to start with Pokémon Diamond and Pearl. Well, first thing I've got to say is that I am absolutely... Oh, I can't wait for this game.
I can sum up Pokémon Diamond and Pearl in one word. Dribble.
What?
Sorry, dribble. Dribble. It's something I say, like, when I like something, it's like dribble. It makes my mouth water. I'll shut up.
Oh, you mean drool. You mean
drool.
like...
Drool, yeah.
Yeah, dribble. I thought you were slagging it off. I'm like, what?
Dribble does sound like drivel, I guess. I don't know, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I thought you said. No, like you said, no, the Wii Pokemon is going to be online as well, James.
Is it? Yeah, but the Wii Pokemon online, the Wii Pokemon, if you're talking about Battle Revolution, at the moment that's just basically an upgraded N64 Pokemon Stadium. It's only the Battle Arena.
I love that,
though. It was good, but I want a 3D Pokemon adventure, and not Gale of Darkness, because that was not brilliant.
No, exactly. That's exactly what I want, but we're not going to get it. I want a 3D where you go around and you go in the long grass and you see the Pokemon running around, and, not some crappy thing where you have a capture thing on your arm and you friggin...
But a 3D Pokemon would work. I always thought this back in, like, the N64 days, a 3D Pokemon would work on, like, say, the Zelda engine. Because if you remember, like, back in Ocarina of Time, every time you locked onto a monster, you pressed, like, the C up button to, find out the info. That could work. If you just walk around and there's Pokemon around, like Pokemon Snap, there's Pokemon around in the natural environment. If you press the up button, you can get the Pokedex info, and then if you just attack them, and then you can try and catch them. You just need a big world, like an ongoing world, like Hyrule or whatever. That would make a good 3D Pokemon game.
And also, then listen, they could bring in like like a food chain engine sort of thing, or a habitat engine. So, and you've got Team Rocket going around, and they might destroy a forest to try and get a rare Pokemon, and that means that the Pokemon that live in that forest will have to like sort of regroup somewhere else, and all this is going on.
That would be brilliant if you had like
Did we just end up talking about Wii again instead of DS?
Oh, sorry,
but it's
no, we're on
interesting.
Pokemon at the moment. Like if you had
yeah,
like
that's
randomly happening events, like on Spider-Man 2, like when you have like the random crimes. If you have the random events, things like if someone sets the fire to a forest, you have to run there with your water Pokemon and put the fire out. That would be brilliant.
And I think another cool thing would be if you like they could finally use WeConnect 24 for something useful. Like you got like World of Warcraft but offline. That you got sent updates every few months that had the next chapter in this ongoing Pokemon story.
Is that the token WoW reference there?
Indeed, yep.
Bless.
Yeah, but they could.
Gosh.
They could. No, see, they're just missing the potential. Seriously.
But then,
Okay,
if you
so
had
what
a
would you guys
3D,
think of-
Pokemon that could connect to all the other Wiis, I think they're worried that the handheld one would suffer. And let's face it, the handheld one is where they've depended most on from the Pokemon franchise. With like the originals, Red, Blue, and Yellow, had they not sold so well and Gold and Silver afterwards, they wouldn't have had the money for a GameCube. They've always depended on handheld, which is probably why they're so reluctant to do things like online play on the console, because they know what they're doing with handheld, but they're still worried about consoles.
Yeah.
There's more to lose when it comes to consoles.
Exactly. I mean,
What? Oh, well, go on.
well, yeah, there is more to lose. They have always dominated the handheld market. PSP has flopped spectacularly because of the DS. The DS has got to be, I'm going to say this now, the DS has got to be the single greatest Nintendo console ever invented. Simply because it's just shaken up the world. It's, expanded handheld things to non-gamers. It's, it's still carrying on the tradition of being...
And it's filtered in through the Wii as well.
It's just... there are no words.
It is, because I never was into handheld gaming. I had a Game Boy Advance, and then the original Game Boy Advance, and then I sold that all to cash converters with loads of games.
So I had a Game Boy Advance. I was really excited about the Game Boy Advance. I never had the original Game Boy. I never had a Game Boy Pocket or Color. I was really excited about the Game Boy Advance. I got it on launch day. I was really chuffed. I had, over the course of the 5 years that the Game Boy Advance existed, I know it still does exist, but not much comes out for it. Over the course of the 5 years, I only had about 2-3 games. Most of those I sold. Super Mario Brothers 2, I sold that. Mario Kart Super Circuit, I sold that. Advance Wars, I got bored of that. Zelda Minish Cap, Zelda Link to the Past, I lost Link to the Past, I don't know where that is. I didn't get that many games, and most of the games I did get were ones that I played before on other consoles. But the DS, within a year of having the DS, I have got 1, 2, 3, so I'm counting, they're on my shelf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got about 9 games. And that's unheard of for me. I never buy...
That's not many, though.
For me, that is the most I've ever bought within a year for one console.
I've got 11 games, and I've got a Supercard as well now.
I had about 30 games at one point for my DS, but then I traded them in and got a Supercard. Yeah, but
Wow, 30 games.
Yeah,
That's nuts.
yeah.
What can I say? I'm a poor student.
Yeah, but I mean, I had the Game Boy, and then then I sold it, and then I never even thought to buy a Game Boy. It never appealed to me. I got my GameCube, and then handheld gaming didn't appeal to me at all until the DS arrived. And I was worried because I thought if another Game Boy comes out, it's just going to be better graphics like GameCube. I'm probably not going to buy it. But the fact that they, actually tried to do something different and, like you said, shake up the market, disrupt what Sony and Microsoft are doing.
It's just incredible. And I sit on the train home from London on Mondays, and I've never ever heard people, adult people, in business suits and secretaries and all that, chatting about gaming. If I ever see a console on the train, it's usually a PSP, but it's just some sad git sitting on his own watching a movie or playing GTA. But I'll sit and I'll be reading my book, and I can hear 4 or 5 people around me talking about brain training and saying how addictive it is, or talking about Nintendogs. And that has never happened before,
Yeah, when I got my DS, when I was going to uni and coming back, I used to play it on the bus, and like all my friends and stuff, we always just like pass the DS around and play it because it wasn't out here then. I got it from like US launch, so like it wasn't out here then. And now that like when I see people with PSPs, you're right, they're just playing GTA. You can hear like sirens going off like everywhere,
and they think it's amazing, don't they?
They think it's like whoa.
And it's crap, It's, in
And that guy yesterday we were speaking to in it, Ben, and he was like, PSP's.
But he was
shit,
funny.
man.
He was funny.
He was so funny, but yeah, the DS rules. Yeah.
Definitely. But we haven't really talked about Diamond and Pearl, which is the centre of the discussion. Yeah.
I cannot wait for
I downloaded
Sorry,
this.
you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say I downloaded this like when it came out in Japan because I was really excited about it. I was like, no, in fact, no, I got my Supercard because of Diamond and Pearl. That's the sole reason I got it, and I didn't even play it that much because I didn't want to spoil it for myself. But yeah, and the graphics, they're the first thing you'll notice. They're amazing. They're like 3D, 2D. It's like a weird mix of the two, and it works really well. And in the first gym, when you go in, it's just it's amazing. But I'm not going to talk about that.
I mean, I cannot wait for this. I had Red originally, and I never caught the 150 Pokemon because I never had any mates who had Blue. By the time I did find out mates who had Blue, they'd got bored of them or they'd sold them or something. I never bought Gold or Silver because I didn't have the right Game Boy. Because I bought Red when I had the transfer pack and Pokemon Stadium, right? So I didn't actually have a Game Boy. I didn't get Gold and Silver. When the Game Boy Advance came out, again, I didn't buy any GBA games, so I didn't get Ruby or Sapphire. So I've been waiting for Pokemon Diamond since I finished Red. And the fact that you can trade online, so I don't have to find someone who has the same version as me, means I can finally complete my Pokédex. Thank Christ.
But the game itself is... I mean, obviously I can't understand the storyline because I don't speak Japanese, but you can tell, like, there's more... Like, there's emotions and stuff, it's not so basic. And it just looks so amazing, the world, it's just... Oh... This game, seriously, it won't. I don't think it'll wipe the floor, but with Pokemon fans, it'll definitely be the best, the one they've ever played. I'm guessing.
I can't wait for it. Having said that, I did a preview for InStock the other day about Pokemon Ranger. That looks quite good because it's similar to Pokemon Diamond and Pearl in that it's traditional Pokemon. It's a traditional Pokemon adventure in that you've got to walk around and catch them all.
No, it isn't. It isn't.
No, it's sort of. It's
it
like, but you no.
No. It
Is this the one I played?
No,
that's not the one. I played
Granted, I
Mystery
only had a press release to go by. From what I can tell, though, it's basically a mission-based version of Pokemon. It's more in common with Pokemon than Mystery Dungeon. But to capture the Pokemon, you've got to draw circles around them. I hope they bring that over to Diamond and Pearl. That'd be brilliant. You have to actually catch them yourself.
No. Yeah, but it's not right. In Pokemon Ranger, you're this Pokemon Ranger, and you're like a new recruit to the team thing. And yeah, like you said, like James said, you've got this capture styler, whatever it is, and basically you walk up to a Pokemon, you get into a battle with it, and then you have to draw so many circles around it to catch it, whether it be like 2, 3, 4, and they'll attack the circle which deals damage to your styler, and then if you catch a Pokemon, it might have an effect, and you can use that in battle, and it's right. You don't catch them and keep them in your team, and you don't level up and stuff like that. You don't have a team of Pokemon like you do in the traditional Pokemon games. It's like a new, adventure onto the DS.
I just think it's just a nice expansion, like nice exploration into the Pokemon world. I mean, I always thought, like personally, I was quite vindictive. I always thought it was quite cruel that I was taking these monsters out of their natural environment, shoving them into little balls, and keeping them to fight for my glory. But Pokemon Ranger, you borrow them, you use their power to help someone, and then you release them into the wild.
Which sucks. They're bred for war. But,
I think Nintendo would dispute that they're bred for war.
Well, that's my opinion. But, yeah,
Sorry, I'm not talking that much. You know me in Pokemon.
Yeah. But yeah, the online aspect of Diamond and Pearl as well, I think it's just going to wipe the floor. It's just going to be like, wow. Because, I haven't actually tried the online part because I couldn't because I didn't understand Japanese and I didn't know how to set it up. But,
This is more of
I've
a
seen
more
a
of a
video.
question than a point. When you trade online, will you be able to like see what the Pokemon is? Because back when like Red and Blue came out, my mates used to like they'd train up Blastoise, a huge Blastoise, and rename it Caterpie, so that when they're battling against their mate, it says Martin's about to use Caterpie, and out comes this fucking great Blastoise.
Oh
Now,
no!
if you don't see what type of Pokemon it is, if you only see the names like you did in the old trade system, surely people can swindle you.
You'll see full information on full Pokédex information, everything. And no, it's like right with the Global Trade Center. That's the World Trade Center. Sorry, but yeah, that's what it is on Diamond and Pearl, the Global Trade Center. You go in and it's like eBay. You make a request, so you might be like, I want a Caterpie, and I'll trade this Charizard for it. So then they'll process your request, and then if anyone's like sent up a Caterpie onto the Global Trade Center, and they're asking for a Charizard, the deal will be made, and then you'll go back later on in the game, or whenever you feel like going back, and you'll have your Caterpie or whatever you requested there waiting.
Good
for
system, but who the hell is going to trade a Caterpie for a Charizard?
Well, it was just an example. And then, of course, you've got your friend trade thing, which is where you trade with your friends. And with that, you send your Pokemon, they send theirs, and it's in real time. So we could do it like now.
Well, I've never been excited about
like
a Pokemon title coming out, but this one I'm really excited about.
No, I've always been excited. Pokemon, it's one of the best franchises ever. No,
You lot are so going to drag me
Yes,
into
we are bringing you in, Maddie.
You dragged me into the whole Pokemon Red thing. Do you remember when I was sitting there playing Pokemon Red? Fire Red. I played it for about 3 days straight.
Yeah.
And then I stopped because I realised that I couldn't get any of the Pokemon because I was playing it on a Supercard thing.
Well, so what? God, what is it with people? Oh, that's all I care about, catching the Pokemon. How about enjoying the game? You
got to catch them
I
all.
was never bothered about catching all the Pokemon. I just wanted to beat the game, and then I'd go back and pick up the. And that's how I do. That's my gaming philosophy. I always go through and beat the story, and then I'll go back for the extras because otherwise there's no replayability.
Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what I do. I play through the game, and then I'll go back and catch all the Pokemon that I didn't catch. And
so with this, is there going to be a way we can trade then?
I've just said online trading, Manny.
Are you paying attention, man?
Oh yeah,
Are
online
you
trading.
there?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I was just reading one thing. Can I just ask you guys a question?
Sure.
How much do you think the DS has sold worldwide? Ben, you go first.
It's sold about 10 to 11 million.
Okay, how much do you think the DS has sold, James? DS. Yeah.
I don't think it's quite 10 to 12 million. I can't remember. I thought only 2 million had sold by the summer. I'm going to go with about 7 million. I don't know.
The DS worldwide has sold 35.6.
Fuck me.
What?
It's amazing.
Jesus Christ.
Drool.
It's a big user base. Like you said, it is the most successful.
It is the world's greatest invention.
created now.
No second to none, you know?
Wow.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Imagine if they did a stunt where the new DS remake came out and everyone took their old DSs and DS Lites to a big area and they piled them all up. And just think how big that tower would be, or that mound of DS.
Just think, that's
That'd be
35 million consoles, so that's 70 million screens.
Wow. That's a lot of LCD screens.
Yeah, Jesus, my God. But yeah, so we talked about Diamond and Pearl a bit. We can't help but I can't talk about it much because I haven't played it and no one else has, and it's hard to keep a conversation going when you're the only person who's played.
You know, like when you're being successful and people try and knock you down.
What do you mean?
Like I've just seen it like on this news on some website. Like there was some American news story and it was about how the DS is dangerous for your kids and paedophiles can start talking to you and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember reading about that.
And I was like, what? It was like, oh, you're someone could.
But
be
that's no
outside in the
different
street
to
and
like
start
what's it like
I was
any
oh my
internet
God.
any internet machine.
But the way they said it, they said the moment your child opens up their DS and clicks and the menu comes up and they click on Picto Chat, they are open to vast amounts of people coming to talk to them.
That's like saying the
Yeah,
PlayStation
right,
3. Every time
Is
you
it
turn
what
it
it
on,
is?
you are connected to 1,001 perverts.
Yeah, God, don't they use the internet? I'm sure these kids use the internet. The internet is worse than the DS is ever going to be.
Exactly. I mean, no, that's just someone like trying to put the DS down in it.
And they said that it works 300 feet away, like from DS to DS in a
It's 30.
I think you're going to notice if an old man is standing across the road with a DS looking up at your child's window.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
they're like, this is the worst. They said, oh, you could be at a traffic lights or something, in your car, and your daughter or something will be in the back, and like in the car next to you or something, someone will be on their DS talking to your daughter. And I was like, what? This is pathetic.
Well, that could happen, but I mean, it's just not going to happen, is it? You know.
But that's unlikely. I mean,
these are journalists. They've got to report good news. That's just really
that's unlikely. I mean, whenever I see a DS in public, you know, I've only done it like once or twice when I first had my DS. But if you just suddenly click on PictoChat, there's no guarantee that they'll be in there. Everyone else has to be in PictoChat before you can go in. Who sits on PictoChat waiting to see if there's anyone there?
John Locke.
Fair enough. Each to their own.
But they don't look at all these hacks, innit, where like the PSP, like you can hack it now, so you can have MSN Messenger and like John Locke. That is more, you know, you can do that on the PSP. They're like, why are they making it, thinking it a big deal on the DS? No one uses PictoChat. It's like, you did it first, but no,
but now it's just pointless. Wow, we've talked for 41 minutes. Wow. Are we going to talk about Wario Masters of Disguise or leave it?
I haven't got hold of it yet.
No one's played it, so there's no point. Okay, great. Oh yeah, James is going.
No, not yet.
James,
I'm good. No, yeah, sorry, I'm gonna have to go. See you all, fellas.
Okay then.
Oh, can't we talk about Red
No,
Steel?
I'm really sorry. You and me can rant about that when I get back. See you later, guys.
Okay, cool.
Alright then. See ya.
Bye.
Okay, James is gone.
Like every week, it's just you and me again.
And this is where the episode just sort of goes
downhill and we go to our segment things.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So, no updates this week, no major ones, is there, Manny?
No, there hasn't been any updates.
Okay, cool. Online section, here we go. The Weekade playtest of the week is Paintball. Basically on this game, I don't know if anyone's played that game where you have to draw a track for the thing, and you just have to see how far you can get it. Well, this is basically that, but you have to get it to a goal, and you draw the track, and it's sort of a puzzler. It's a cool game. So, graphics 6, basic paint style graphics, as in the paint on your computer. Sound 4, annoying repetitive background track. Gameplay 7, cool solid puzzler type gameplay. Replayability 6, fairly fun. Could have some Whoa. Hello? Oh, Jesus.
Hello?
I thought my computer crashed. My screen went black. Oh,
because I went screen saving.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, sorry, replayability 6, fairly fun, could have some comeback factor. So, yeah, go try this out on weekade.com. And, yeah, it's cool.
You should have told me about it, I would have played it.
Well,
My online's sorted now, as you can tell by the other day when I sent you
all those
a
pictures
barrage of stuff. The photo channel is awesome, man.
I don't use...
It's so good. If you sit there with 2 or 3 people and you're like manipulating photos and grabbing heads off people and pasting them onto others, it's just hilarious. I'm telling you. I was on it for like an hour and a half.
Okay, so website of this week is www.stickam.com. Stickem.com. This has got nothing to do with Nintendo specifically, but it's good, innit, Manny?
Sorry, I didn't hear that. What was that?
Stickem.com.
Oh yeah, Stickem.com is really good.
It's like,
really
okay,
good.
if you've ever been on an internet chat room before, then you'll know what the franticness is like. But add webcam functionality and microphone functionality all in the same package to that, plus MySpace and messages and all that crap.
And it works really well.
Yeah,
like
there's no lag hardly.
no lag, nothing.
The quality of it's good. It's well put together. It's not some crappy thing that someone's tried to attempt. It's been done well. Yeah, I can see this. If it gets, if if it picks up, I can see many people on MySpace also getting this and eventually sort of, rising up through the popularity. Don't you think?
Yeah, I do.
So basically, go on there.
You should all check it out. It's just really good.
And then you can, somehow add us. I'll tell you what, send us an email if you sign up. Send us an email with your username and we'll find you and we'll add you and we'll have a big video conference, and you can talk to us in real time. Events occur in real time, that's the one. Release dates. 16th February, Deep Labyrinth, Excite Truck, Lionel Trains on Track, Mario Slam Basketball. 23rd of February, Corridor in Power. 2nd of March, Sonic and the Secret Rings, The Ant Bully. 16th of March, SSX Blur, The Grim Adventures of Billy. Yeah, brilliant. I'm going to have to update that because they're getting pretty low on release dates. And we've actually got Virtual Console release things today, because I actually bought one of the titles. We have Vigilante, Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, and... drum roll please. Super Mario World. Brilliant.
Yeah, Super Mario World, I bought that as well.
I'm going to have to get into it. It's hard, but, it's good, very good.
It is a good game. It's a long game as well. It will last you a while.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, remember to email us at what am I doing? Remember to email us at WiiDSpodcast@gmail.com with all of your thoughts about the show and the host, as well as any suggestions you think could make the show better. Also, could you please put fan mail in the subject box so we can easily identify emails to be read out on the show. Also check out the Weeds MySpace at www.myspace.com/the WiiDS podcast to add us and see what we're really like. And also got the forums, the Weeds forums, where you can join the community, chat to us and all the other fellow fans. We've got about 15-20 members who are actually posting now, I think. So it's pretty good. www.WiiDSforum.com for that. And that's that then. Notice that, like, when people go just sort of...
This is a bit late, but I've just read something about a Wii phone from Nintendo.
A what?
According to T3, Technology Magazine.
Oh, yeah.
They said there's a distinct possibility that Nintendo may be coming out with some type of phone combined with the console remote. There has been some rumours last year about adding a microphone to the controller, and Nintendo has taken advantage of internet-based services with the Wii console lately. This combination could possibly lend itself nicely to the same type of voice-over IP service. And there's Patent Office showing plans of the Wii remote with gaming keys and a dialing keypad.
Yeah, but maybe not. I don't think so, to be honest. But yeah.
Total recall.
Cool. Yeah. So, hope you enjoyed this episode. The usual random off-topic discussion that we always seem to get into these days. Send us emails, because that's why we haven't had any fan mail this week, because we haven't had any fan mail to read out. Oh yeah, send us some emails, people, and we'll read them out on the show. So, from me, Ben.
From me, Manny.
See you, people.
Bye.